Hey everyone, welcome back. You know how much we love diving deep into stories of fascinating figures, and well, today we've got a real doozy. We're talking about Nikola Tesla, a name that probably rings a bell, but trust me, his story goes way beyond those electric cars you see on the road.
Yeah, Tesla's a figure shrouded in a kind of, well, myth and misunderstanding. We're going to try to peel back those layers and see the man behind the legend, the genius, the struggles, the whole nine yards.
Exactly. And to help us on this journey, we're going to be looking closely at an excerpt from a biography, Nikola Tesla, the man who shocked the world. I mean, just the title itself, it grabs you, right?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about a guy who wrestled with some of the biggest scientific minds of his time, a guy who envisioned a future that seemed like pure science fiction back then.
Yeah, and when you really think about it, so much of what we rely on today, from smartphones to Wi-Fi, it all has roots in Tesla's work. But he also faced incredible setbacks, financial struggles, a feeling that his ideas weren't truly appreciated during his lifetime.
It's that mix of triumph and tragedy that makes Tesla's story so compelling. He was this incredible force of nature, but he also got caught in these currents, no pun intended, of skepticism, of financial
Oh,
limitations.
definitely. And let's talk about those currents, right? I mean, everyone's heard of the War of Currents with Thomas Edison. It's like this epic clash of titans,
hmm
Edison pushing for his DC system and Tesla championing AC, the system that ultimately won out.
It was a battle for the future of electricity, no doubt. And what's interesting is that both Edison and Tesla were incredibly brilliant in their own right, but they had very different visions.
Oh, for sure. Totally different approaches. Like Edison was all about practicality. He wanted to light up homes and businesses, make electricity accessible. Nothing wrong with that, of course.
Right, but Tesla, he was thinking on a grander scale. He saw AC as the key to electrifying the entire world, transmitting power over vast distances. He knew that DC, as efficient as it was, just couldn't do that.
And that's the thing, right? AC's ability to travel long distances, that's what made it possible to power factories, entire cities. I mean, can you imagine the world we'd be living in if we were still stuck with DC's limitations?
It would be a completely different landscape. Tesla's vision, it was a game changer. And it's amazing to think that this battle, this war of currents, was playing out over a century ago.
Right, way ahead of his time. But that wasn't even the most mind-blowing part. What really gets me is how Tesla was already thinking about wireless power, wireless communication, concepts that seemed impossible back then.
It's like he was peering into the future, seeing things that no one else could grasp. Imagine the audacity to talk about sending signals through the air without wires when the only way people knew how to communicate was through the telegraph.
It must have sounded like pure magic. And sadly, that's part of the reason he faced so much resistance. His ideas were so far ahead of their time that people struggled to understand, let alone fund them.
Absolutely. He was trying to convince investors to back technologies that seemed, well, fantastical. And investors, they want to see results, they want a return on their money. It's not surprising that many just couldn't wrap their heads around what Tesla was proposing.
It's almost tragic, isn't it, to have this incredible vision, this potential to revolutionize the world, but be constantly hampered by lack of support and funding?
It's a classic story, unfortunately. The visionary who's ahead of their time, misunderstood, even ridiculed. But the thing about visionaries is that they keep pushing, they keep believing, even when the world doubts them.
And in a way, Tesla's persistence paid off. Even though he faced financial struggles and didn't always get the recognition he deserved during his lifetime, his ideas eventually took root, they blossomed.
Absolutely. I mean, look around us. We live in a world shaped by Tesla's vision. Wireless technology is everywhere. Remote control is, well, it's almost mundane at this point.
Yeah.
Even things like radar and X-rays, they have roots in concepts Tesla explored.
It's mind-blowing. And it makes you wonder, are there Teslas out there today, brilliant minds with world-changing ideas struggling to be heard?
I'm sure there are. And that's where we need to be more careful, right? We need to foster a culture that encourages bold thinking, a culture that's willing to support those who dare to challenge the status quo.
Absolutely. Because the next Tesla might be out there right now, working away in a lab, scribbling ideas in a notebook, waiting for that chance to change the world. And it's up to us to recognize those sparks of genius and help fan them into flames.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Tesla's story, it's a reminder that progress often comes from those who dare to dream the impossible, those who refuse to let setbacks extinguish their vision.
So let's keep our eyes open, our minds open to the Teslas of today. Who knows what incredible breakthroughs are just waiting to be discovered?
Exactly. The future, as Tesla showed us, is full of possibilities, but it takes courage, it takes support to turn those possibilities into realities.
And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder this. What bold ideas, what seemingly impossible dreams are you holding on to? Don't let them fade. Nurture them, explore them, and who knows, you might just shock the world.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Nikola Tesla. We hope you learned something new and maybe, just maybe, feel a little bit inspired to pursue your own audacious dreams.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep that Tesla spirit alive.
And don't forget to check out the full biography, Nikola Tesla, the man who shocked the world, for even more on this fascinating figure. It's a wild ride.
It really is.